strange times, and here we are, another crisis kitchen and a discussion on what's current today. So we're struggling with this idea of returning to work. Is it safe to do so? And what about employees and employers? That sort of problem about effectiveness of working at home. Now, some of us will have discovered, to our joy, that we can actually carry on and work at home pretty well, as efficiently as we were in the office. We're missing a few of those human interactions which are really important for the team, and we can try and fill those with online discussions, and we do that twice a week, beginning and the end of the week, with what we call our samlings, connecting everybody in the company. It's never quite as good as people getting together and having a drink down the pub or having a cup of coffee together, but it is actually a way of bonding using the tools that we have available to us. But now we're at the point saying, do we go back to work? For an employer's point of view, is that, are we going to compel people to go back to work because we think they're more efficient, at a risk to their health, or potentially the health that they're going to bring back to other family members if they get caught? And we have a big responsibility to get that call right, particularly if people are working pretty well from home and are somewhat afraid of actually travelling into work. And those that live in city centres, and we've got our operations in central London, that's a big consideration for any employer. So right now, the rule is if you can do that, you should work from home. But we're always trying to look over the next hill to say what's going to come. When are we going to use these offices again? And I think that many companies and many CEOs that I know are already reviewing their office policies to say, why are we having these very expensive central London offices, and can we actually be operating very efficiently? In other areas like sales, for example, I was speaking to a financial services company earlier on in the week, and they were saying they've discovered that putting people in cars or on transport to go and visit customers, where they might make 1 or 2 calls a day, is in fact much less efficient than it is moving to Zoom meetings or WebEx meetings, where they're holding maybe 4 or 5 meetings a day and being equally effective in converting. It's less wear and tear on the individual, and certainly is more effective from a company point of view. So they're definitely not going to go back. So these are really major step changes in the way in which we're working now that COVID is really eliciting out of our businesses. So looking at it, I think it's very unreasonable for us to be forcing people to go back to work in the offices unless there's a compelling reason to do so. And that means they have to do their work, they have to be in the offices there. Therefore, we need to provide every support for them at home. And remembering that being at home is difficult, but we need to really understand, in some ways, survey what's their environment like. Do they have vulnerable people in their house? Are they partnering with somebody that's in fact exposed heavily to maybe someone who's driving buses or something, who will be meeting contact with hundreds of people every day? Therefore, there's a chance that person coming back to work could in fact bring COVID-19 into the workplace, which would be a big disaster for companies. So I think there is a real responsibility to understanding not just that individual, but their environment, and deciding when it's safe to bring back to work. I think we have to understand that we shouldn't be compelling people to come back. We should be doing everything to make them feel comfortable, but if they are efficient at home, we should try and support them and continue to do so for some time, like Google and Facebook have said. Not everybody can do that, but when you can, you definitely should. Those are my thoughts for today.